Welcome back, everybody, to the semifinal round of today's Smite World Championship Qualifiers. Week number 4 is taking place right here, right now, and the next match will be TSM versus Worth. And last week, the Grand Finals, Worth beat out C9 and made it all the way to the Grand Finals to face off against TSM. Game 1 went to TSM. Game 2, though, went to Worth, and Game 3 went to TSM, and TSM won it overall. But Worth is going to get their chance to get their blood feud underway against TSM in the semifinals this time in a best-of-1.
If they can take what they did during that second game against TSM into this one, then we could really see a dogfight. Or as Bart would say, a burnt barn? Or a barn burner? Is that what it is that Bart always says?
Burner?
A barn burner. He gets very excited by setting fire to barns. I feel sorry for the country folk that live near him who own farmland, because it sounds like he just likes to go around setting fire to things, to be honest.
Yeah, he gets away with it, though.
It is Bart.
Yeah. I generally just don't listen when he talks, so I don't really know what he says at all.
But
into the game now, Odin is going to be banned out. Ul is going to be banned out as well. TSM actually gave up first pick, it looks like. So it looks like with Worth first picking here. And honestly, this seems to be the strategy that stands right now in the current meta. I mean, it may be more valuable to pick up 2 of the top tier picks than, Sun Wukong or Hoonbots, or whatever the case may be. Sun Wukong banned out here along with Odin. It looks like they're going to be banned out completely now back over to TSM. Are they going to go for Scylla? Are they going to go for Aphrodite? Are they going to go for, it looks like it's going to be Aphrodite, actually. So definitely a strong pickup for TSM.
Well, big shout out to what happened last week. Worth Gaming did really well with the Afro pick last week, and Game Hunter did not enjoy the lane matchup that he found there. Right. Variety did a great job of rotating. For me, he's been the best player in Aphrodite, showing how good it is to rotate early when you've got Aphrodite and put pressure on the rest of the map. So not a surprise to see that one coming out from TSM. And the one time they did let it slip against Worth Gaming was the game that Worth Gaming picked up off them. So not a shock. And as you were talking, the idea of the get 2 picks instead of the first one, it's really big in the meter right now. I mean, there's only 4 bands to begin with, and there's so many top picks right now that it makes sense, So they've given away Hombats, but some Wukong isn't available, that's a lie. Poseidon's available, Scylla is still on the table as well. Plenty of mid lane options, as well as still. Yep, Bastet as well, which we keep glossing over because Bastet's not been played that much this week so far.
Yeah, she's slowly on the down decline now. Nothing has changed about her just yet.
No,
honestly, the nerf prior did actually make her a little less viable. Now, the biggest thing is that CC immunity in the first second is helpful, but looks like they're going to be going for some strange picks here.
Okay, that's not a surprise, actually. That's not a surprise.
So they have Guan Yu hovered on. They have Apollo hovered on. They're both
Apollo!
Guan Yu. Like they're just going to take that right off the bat. Poseidon is still available. Bastet's still available. Ul is gone, though. And so, with the support being locked in, maybe they just really like Guan Yu. We do know that Trixtank, after Sun Wukong, does really enjoy his Guan Yu play. He played it a lot in the launch event as well, so that's going to be the selection for him. But they're leaving a lot available. Scylla's still on the table. Ra's still on the table. Looks like those are going to be grabbed up pretty quick.
It's an interesting one because TSM were kind of forced into the Guan pick because I know Chicken Tank as he is for the time being, loves to play Guan Yu if the other 2 warriors are taking away Odin and Sun Wukong. And if he doesn't have that available, he'll resort to Bacchus as a main staple. So he didn't clearly want to pick that Bacchus. So Worth Gaming did a good choice there, forcing him into picking him early, which gave up that Scylla pick, which I think could be instrumental to Worth Gaming if they can play it right. But Poseidon has a great lane matchup against Scylla, and that's what we see on paper there. Poseidon being locked in for Lobster in that mid lane.
Easy snag up there. I want to see if you make it that far from the banning for our picking phase, and still, Poseidon's still available. It's not too surprising. They're going to ban out Artemis with Ul and Artemis banned out. They're going to be trying to focusing Shaggy Shake with that one. Surprisingly enough, we did see actually Shaggy Shake play a stronger Neath than Artemis, but maybe they're just worried about the late game potential. Neath Ultimate seems to be something they're comfortable going for. No, with Apollo picked already, they may be looking to give Neath away to Shaggy Shank, although we did see him play some different picks earlier. So maybe he'll change it up. I mean, right now, Chicken Tank, Trixtank, of course, is going to be selecting for his team. They have a support. They have a hunter. They have Poseidon. They need a strong jungle, though. And with Bastet still available, what will they go for?
Bastet is available. I mean, Tyr being taken away gives a lot of respect to Kiva Fred. His Tyr play is fantastic. Definitely. And so that really had to be done there.
Thor?
I don't know, what was he? Maybe it will be Thor. No, I don't know.
Can't pick Thor with Bastet on the table. I just can't.
Well, Bastet, yeah, exactly. Bastet's being available. How can you not pick her up in this situation? It's quite clear to do. So there we go. Bastet being hovered over and finally locked in by Chicken Tank for his jungler Kiva Fred. And that still means they've got that solo laner left to pick and they're leaving it to last once again. And now Worth Gaming, it's their decision to make the hovering over hell here.
Interesting.
Which are they going to be going? Are they going for the?
Geb's still available. Bach
are they going
for
the duo Scylla? the duo Scylla, which we saw in NA yesterday, could be being done here as well?
It's possible. Honestly, they could go a lot of different routes. I think Hell's going to be swapped out. I don't imagine they'd want to lock this in given their lineup. With how good Shaggy Shank is at Hunter, not picking Hunter is ridiculous. So that was more of a troll there. So, you know, Neath going to be hovered on and locked in. Imagine they want to go Geb Neath with the lineup they have now. Corneo is going to get his Scylla. We know that Ninja Bobat got his Hoonbots. Shaggy Shank got his Neath. And ML, who actually is a very strong support player, is going to get Geb this time around. It was a little bit easier to use in the laning phase. And so it seems to be that everything is lining up as it should. Variety likes playing those healing solo laners. Actually, Aphrodite and Ra are the top 2 picks for him, and so he's going to go down the road. It seems like Worth got everything that they wanted in this draft.
Yeah, it seems both teams are doing okay for what they want in this draft. I mean, Trickstank is on his 3rd favoured support role god there, but overall, you know, they'd be quite happy on paper. But Habwa being hovered over here by TSM, that will be a jungle if it is picked up, I believe. No, it won't be a jungle, will it? It'll be a solo. Of course, and that's going to be Game Hunter.
Game Hunter just likes picking weird things.
I love Game Hunter because he's just like, yeah, I'll play this. Why are you playing that? It's like, because it's good. You know, it does damage. And you're like, but everyone says it's weak and it's not very good. Why are you playing it?
We did see Game Hunter play Hobwa last week, and honestly, he got 2v1 under tower and still got a kill out of it.
Yeah,
that's just what Game Hunter does. He's just so smart in the way he plays, and Hobwa requires you to be smart. He's very squishy and low mobility, but if he gets close enough to do his damage, he's going to do a lot. You just be careful with how hard you commit and where you position yourself as Hobwa. We know Game Hunter very intelligent, very predictive. He knows he has a lot of forethought in his play and understands how things shift around as you know abilities are used or people rotate over. And so you know it's going to be a great pickup for Team Solomid. And you look at the carry potential here for TSM is pretty high. I mean, they have Hobwa, they have Apollo, Poseidon, even Bastet scales really well into late game. Across the way, a lot of scale potential as well. You're going to see Neath, Scylla, Hoonbots, and Ra all together very, very strong. Not a whole lot of healing on TSM, but a decent amount on Worth, of course, with Ra and Neath with a self-healing. There's definitely a strong lineup across the board. I think Worth's lineup is a little bit safer considering how they play, but TSM has a great amount of potential.
I think Worth gaming over on paper early game, I feel like they might struggle a little bit. Overall, Scylla's not going to have the greatest of lineups there. Hopebois will do okay against Roger in the early stages until Ra can really start stacking up that healing where he'll be able to push him in. So, and Humbats, you know, he's a 50-50 sort of jungler to an extent. Like, he wants to get going early. So, we'll have to see how Worth perform during the early game or if TSM can do what they do and start looking for the early picks and snowball the game in their advantage again. But it'll be an interesting one to see. I mean, I'm looking forward to this. Guys, tweeting hashtag SWC with your pick for who's going to win this one. This is the semi-final. Winners will move on to the final and look to secure the bigger points of this week. Will TSM take it again this week, or will the underdogs Worth, who we saw in the final last week, come back? We will be right back after this little break.
Welcome back, everybody. The semifinal round, Worth versus TSM, taking place right now. And this is a blood feud. Last week, they were both in the grand finals. Worth went 1-2 against TSM. They took the first place for TSM, but Worth is trying to shut them out early. The semifinal round, single elimination, best of one, taking place right now. And we're going to find out if Worth has what it takes to shut TSM out of the grand finals for the first time. Let's cover who's playing what. Worth going for one team. The bottom side, that's going to be Worth gaming the bottom side, the green grass. We've got Shaggy Shank, last week's MVP on Neath. Ninja Bobat in the jungle with Hoonbots. Ninja Bobots, as he should be known. Emil on Geb in the support role. Corneo on Scylla in the mid lane, getting a triple kill against TSM last week with Scylla and Variety on Ra in the solo lane.
On the other side of the map, once again, TSM, your winners of the previous couple of weeks, are going to be fighting from this top side of your map. Cuba Fred going to be playing Bastet in the jungle. Smek going to be playing Apollo. Lobster again on that Poseidon mid lane. Chicken Tank on Guan Yu. And finally, but not least, Game Hunter, the God Hunter, on Habwa in the solo lane.
We see mirrored wards here from either team. TSM wards the blue buff. We see Worth Blord the blue buff on the left side of the map. 3 players from TSM grouping on the left side. Taking out the mid camp. Looks like heading over to the blue buff will be Trix Tank. Right side, we see 3 players from Worth grouping up. Ninja Bobats is going to be taking out this damage buff and then heading over toward the blue buff to meet up with Scylla. I'm sorry, with Variety on Ra. Scylla going mid against Habwa. No, looks like the right side. Game Hunter heading over. I'm just losing my head here. Game Hunter heading over the right side up against the Ra. Habwa, an interesting character, but I think a little bit better in the solo lane than in the mid lane. Very, very difficult to stay alive in the mid lane.
Yeah, it is, for the most part, for Scylla especially. Against Poseidon, who's going to push all day long. Keep your eyes in this game on Cuva. Fred, will he look for the early rotations onto Scylla, as she has the early pressure placed upon her by the Poseidon? But for the time being, we'll see her in the solo. News in that Agilitas did lose to i5, so i5 actually won. And just to point out, hell must have frozen over because Durgis did not actually die in that game. That is a turn up for the books if I've seen one in the EU. Durgis not dying, something's definitely wrong there.
Well, at the same time, they have to go through C9 coming up next. Looks like they're going to be going on to some issues there. I mean, C9 versus I5 is looking like a good matchup between the two. So right now, it looks like everything is going well for Worth. I mean, 9,400, a little bit behind actually. Just a small difference in gold. You see 120, actually 200 gold now in favor of TSM across the board. Good start, but Game Hunter picking out.
Yeah, managed to pick up a quick kill on Game Hunter early game. That's surprising to see. Game Hunter doesn't normally get caught out of position so easily. Well, clearly it was the pressure from the heals from Ra as well as Ninja Bobat. Must have got some nice crit damage off from the passive as well. Sorry we missed it on the action there, but going to cause some issues for Habois early. And we said that already, that is one of the lanes that is quite difficult for Game Hunter in that lane. But he is kind of used to it.
Absolutely used to it. I mean, first blood going to Worth is a big pickup for them, especially against Habois. I mean, Habois, one of those characters you never want to give too much to the early stage of the game, and the fact that they're coming out this strong, getting first blood is a big sign for them. Left side Trickstick going through over, looking for initiation here, possibly a follow-up backflip starting out from underneath. It's on cooldown now, but allow her to clear the whole wave by hitting the broken weave. There it is. One more shot and the whole wave goes down. Smek trying to follow up with that one, but just cannot do it. Variety now has Game Hunter pushed into a corner about a level ahead of him and some good gold. This is going to be really easy for him to control this as he just sits back and just clears the wave.
Yep, he'll keep doing that over again. Take into account there's not a lot of sustain on Habois at this moment in the game, so if Variety can keep putting the pressure poke down, Game Hunter will be forced to recall over and over again. And if he does hit level 5 first, look for those searing pains from Variety to just keep applying that pressure.
Upside Shank's clearing out the wave. Looks like he has a Spirit Arrow coming up pretty soon here to clear this out. There goes the shot, and the wave will go on down. Mid-camp's respawning pretty soon here, just about 50 seconds until those come back up. Scylla and Poseidon in the area. Ninja Bobat will be on his way over to assist. As far as the jungle goes, looks like I've gone home. Mid lane crack coming out. I'm a monster in response to avoid the knock-up. That's exactly what Corey wanted there, and he's going to be able to get away.
Yeah, good decision from Corino to use that ultimate in the early stages to survive in the most part. And that's one thing a lot of people don't realize. I'm a Monster gives you movement speed as well while you're in that form. So it does allow you to escape those clutch situations that you find himself in. But Ninja Bobat could be caught out here. Finno Evil goes out. No Kraken available. We'd already see that. Neve coming in with the Will Weaver. Gets blocked by Cuba Fred. Not enough though. And now Cuba Fred's going to pounce away. The same page. Going to miss. And there's not a whole lot Game Hunter could do there because he was pushed to tower once again. Worth Gaming have come out to fight this week. Looking mid lane. Chicken Tank could be in trouble. He's not seen get behind him. Knocked into the team, but the aggression is now to Variety. That could have been a mistake. Nope. They're going to back out, but Worth Gaming really are out to party this week.
Almost got the knock into the kill on Ninja Bobat, but that was beautiful play there. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. When we talked about in the early stage in the round of 8 with Worth Gaming, they're recognizing situations that are really prime. And that's the sign of a top-tier team, their ability to react to things as they happen organically and recognize the situations and capitalize them. Right there, we knew Poseidon into ultimate. And honestly, in general, I mean, to see a Hoonbots initiate on a Bastet Poseidon by himself with teammates nearby, but not actually in the fight just yet, that is a difficult situation to look at. But Bobat knows that there was no Kraken available. That was communicated by Cornio, and so they group up, they get the Poseidon kill, they almost got the Bastet kill if Cubo didn't dodge the Searing Pain from Ra, but the way they're reacting, we saw Ra rotate a little bit early to make sure that fight was in their favor, and the fact they're able to do these kind of things on a consistent basis tells me that Worth is really trying to elevate themselves, and they're doing it successfully.
They really are, and a big shout to Elmsy as well, who's keeping tracks of Trick's Tank, known as Chicken Tank in this game, and rotated with him when he left the lane, and that's a really hard ask to try and keep up with Trick's Tank when he does those rotations. He arrived in mid lane about the same sort of time as well, so nicely done from Elmsy, stepping in as a sub this game, and it doesn't seem to be at the detriment of Worth as we see the crush attempt on Lobster in mid lane. 2 kill advantage now to Worth Gaming. Gold lead ever so slightly in favour of Worth. It's a couple of kills, sorry, a couple of minion deaths, or at least a jungle buff, so anyone's game still at the moment, and that just shows TSM's experience and keeping it even with gold and stuff being behind in terms of kills.
You see Cornio jump over the wall to pick up that damage buff, and he's going to get it just in time. Wave gets cleared out in the mid lane. Looks like there's a lot of vision for Worth here in the mid area. 1 in front of the Gold Fury, 2 in front of the mid camps on the right side. I like the protection from Cornio. He just wants to make sure that there's no rotation come out there. Bass on the left side, though. Blue buff being started.
There's a nice decision from TSM. They're looking for the opportunity. The cavalry charge comes out. Elmsy was very patient, secures the blue, but can Shaggy Shank get out of it? He can. He's going to backflip away, but the pouncing from Kiro Fred and the cat's coming out. Now Shaggy Shank's in trouble. He's probably going to drop here. He's trying to survive to the best of his ability. Not going to, though. And that's TSM's first kill of the game, and that was down to TSM being well aware the blue was up and positioning great. Good rotation from Cuba Fred. Good coordination.
That's just Trickstank, his vision and his call. I mean, Trickstank just says, hey, they're doing blue buff. They're not protected. Their jungle's not here. Let's go for the kill. We have the Apollo dunk from above. That's all we absolutely need. I like the fact that they forced Geb out of the fight because it made Shaggy Shank feel like he was safe, and they immediately turned on him. Smek actually committed to Geb a little bit too late there instead of going for the kill on Neath, especially with Geb being able to roll out towards the tower. Not a very good opportunity for a kill, but it forced Shaggy Shank into a tough situation, and honestly was enough for them to get the kill. So 2-1 now, TSM up on the board. The issue with this is, and why it's so hard to go up against top-tier teams like TSM, is that even though you get a good kill lead in the beginning, you fall behind and go. I mean, they're tied for gold right now because TSM's farming so well.
Yep, farming so well and trying to rotate wherever possible and look to get themselves back in this one in terms of kills. And if they do get the kill lead, Elmsy looking for aggression onto Game Hunter. The Will Weaver going out. Game Hunter's the focus target here. So Healing Blessing comes out as well. And it looks like Game Hunter's the will to hit. He's going to drop. Caught out of position, really, to save a Game Hunter. He couldn't get himself out of it. He gets himself in some weird spots, but normally he comes out at least in a trade, but not this time round. Now Worth looking to aggress on mid lane. Lobster needs to watch out for Elmsy in the background here.
They don't have a whole lot of cooldowns left. I mean, they do have the ultimates there across the board, but, you know, they don't really have that. They have the Kraken as well. They have to be careful about that one. Geb going to rotate back towards the tower. Hunter versus Hunter left lane taking place. I mean, it seems to be pretty even so far. Smek getting a little bit better end of the stick. 41,450 for him. Shaggy Shank sitting at 3,900, so a 250 gold difference between the two. Smek in the lead in that regard. Mid lane, Trickstank going to harass Cornio just a bit. The root's going to come out from Sikkim, but it's not going to land as Trickstank runs right back out of the lane. But, you know, it seems like TSM is feeling pretty confident, even though they're getting the kill losses, and the gold lead is 760 in favor of Worth. They seem to be pretty comfortable.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot though, and TSM have been in this position many times before. Take I5 a couple of weeks ago when they played those. They were this far, they were further behind than this and came back quite happily during the mid-game. So they just need to make sure they just stop the rot, so to speak, and make sure they keep the pressure on and pick up some kills and keep the wall coverage up. And you can already see on the map, look at that nice variation in wards from TSM, keeping full control. Worth, on the other hand, only focus on the left-hand side. Ninja Boba is going to see that, he's going to rotate around, but he's going to be seen on that path. Nodi Cuva Fred responding as well. He's going to get spotted by a ward any second. No, he's doing a good job, Cuva Fred, of being headed from that ward. He's going to meet Ninja Boba in the jungle. The trade between the two, a little bit of poke onto Ninja Boba, so he's going to back away. Lobster's rotating around in case he could get a bit of pressure on. But for the most part, we're going to have a bit of a stale for the time being, or are we? Because it looks like TSM want to fight. They're looking for poke wherever possible.
The biggest thing about this is I really like the fact that, you know, Worth is able to contest here. Left side, Shaggy Shank in trouble. There goes the initiation, the damage out, but the pound's going to come through here. The shield might be able to save the cats from the ground. There's the hog! Big play by Emil, showing us Worth saving Shaggy Shank through and through. Now looking for Ninja Bobat. Oh, here comes the crush. Not going to land. No damage there on Trickstank just yet. Using the Sentinel to get away there, but that was a top play right there. Emilowichin coming out strong and actually saving Shaggy Shank with the hog, with the shield, with the knock up there with the shockwave. Beautiful play.
Supports don't get some credit sometimes because they don't get the flashy kills at the end of the day. But when you look at plays like that, that was really important. Saving his AD carry. He's also just coming as a sub this game. This guy was looking for a team last week, and now he's stepping in for Worth Gaming and doing a great job so far. Oh, aggression at the left-hand side. Mid-coast Fino Weaver goes out. Cuba Fred having to pounce away. Lobster caught slightly out of position. Has to rotate back because the whole team of Worth were up. And we also see that Smek went into the air as well, looking with the across the skies in case an engagement did happen. So that will be on cooldown for the time being. But overall, a nice attempted kill by Ninja Bobat, but nicely played by Cuba Fred. Right-hand side camps all up. And he might have a contest here as Game Hunter looking for some aggression from the backside. Ninja Bobat takes most of the poke. Has to jump away. So it resets and nobody drops for the time being. 3-1 still in favor of Worth.
10 minutes crossover. The Fire Giant will now crawl out of his hole. Here's the follow-up Lobster in the mid lane. The mid camps are down for the count, as it looks like Trickstick is running into a wall here. Oh, he's just kind of running in place, getting some exercise. A lot of ward coverage, as we've been mentioning so far. I mean, Worth and TSM both getting a lot of vision out onto the map and making sure that they're not surprised by anything. I like the aggressive wards coming out from TSM. You see one ward in front of the movement speed buff about to respawn here, so they will know that that will be coming out shortly. At the same time, I mean, it's great to see such a team like Worth be able to go head-to-head with TSM like this, even getting a lead in the beginning. Now, it's a small lead. 590 gold is not enough to write home about, but it's certainly enough to talk about. It's going to extrapolate if they can actually start to build on it. Gold Fury is the next point of contention for both these teams. Worth is not really in position to take it right now, but neither is TSM. It's going to come down to picks. Whoever gets the next pick on the left side of the map will be able to take it.
Yeah, it's big important. You could already see Elmsy warding up where possible and keep your Fred going deep near the speed to make sure he gets wards down as well, as everybody's looking for that sort of positional play now to catch somebody out of position, and these wards will try and limit that for them so they can see coming. But meanwhile, in mid lane, the Finno Evil comes out, immediate leap away from Keeper Fred, and that's the immunity taking its effect there as he leapt through the sky to avoid the damage from the Finno Evil and the CC effect. That will be gone next patch, Driver.
It'll be gone. CSC no more, but mid lane looking for initiation here, looking for Geb. There's the shield, there's the slow, crush on the ground. Oh, he's used the ultimate there, knocking Keeper Fred up there. Crack, knock it up. Title's not gonna hit.
Monster!
I'm a monster going through, not gonna hit the Keeper. There's he jumps over it now, looking for the kill. D-Claw gets it, and then he leaps back away. Follow from Ninja Bobat, doesn't have an ultimate available. Looks like he does not. Guan Yu following up here, looking for Bobat, not gonna hit it here.
Nice jump
jumping up, good Sacred Mug and Neath, ultimate keep him in place. Purification beats. Overhead smack, he's killed now. Now in trouble, he's following him, smack. Lobster, trick and take in the area. Spirit going to land on Lobster here as they follow up. Raw, too far away, still too far away. And I like the fact that Game Hunter took mid.
1 for 1. 1 for 1. It was a jungler for a support. That worked out well for Worth in the end overall. I'm quite happy for Worth in that situation. I mean, taking out the jungler in terms of your support, that's not a bad trade at all. And great rotations over from both teams. I mean, this game is close. This is worthy of a final right now.
Pun intended.
Not a final though, is it?
Kraken in the mid lane, not available yet. Of course, Lobster just used it last fight. Cannot actually get initiation here. Whirlpool and Corneo to force it back to the tower, but Corneo knows that there's no Kraken available. Grouping up towards the Gold Fury is Word, but they don't think they want to risk taking right now. Smek, Lobster, Guan Yu, played by Trickstank, and of course, Kibo all in the area. It looks like there's a pause coming out here from Ninja Bobat. It's a very short pause coming out from this one. But I mean, look at the graph. You can see a slight lead still, 400 gold for Worth, tied up in experience. Everything is even across the board. And honestly, it's just going to come to the next big objective. Variety's going for penetration here. He actually picked up an Obsidian Shard after his boots, the Shoes of Focus, so actually looking for more damage. I don't know why it's unpaused here. There goes the other pause. So follow it up here.
Okay.
Looks like Bobat was the one who paused the game. He was the one who also disconnected, so there was a little bit of an unpause there coming from him. But of course, he is the one that needs to have the pause in place to protect himself. Geb does have Blink too, so it's important to note.
I mean, we discussed this as well, Drybear, is the fact that TSM like to take a big lead. When they get a lead, it's very hard to take it back away from them. And Worth Gaming for the first 12 minutes of the game have not given them a lead at all. At the moment, they're ahead in terms of gold and experience, only by a little bit. But at the same point, TSM are not having the sort of games they like, where they like to get the snowball lead by picking off 1 or 2 and coming out on top and just keeping the lead and applying the pressure. Worth Gaming have come out to fight this week, and they are showing why they made it to finals last week against TSM.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's why. I mean, you have to continually perform at this level, and obviously with the decisions they've been making so far, it's been great for them. Pause coming out here as Ninja Bobat gets back into the match, and, you know, we're waiting for that next big turning point. Now, the jungle has been farmed effectively. The waves have been cleared effectively. Not a whole lot of misses so far. Hero Fred's going to be looking to finish off. Looks like it's going to be Jotun's Wrath in beginning here. Game Hunter going towards Warlock Sash, actually, on Hub 1. Not a bad choice, going to keep him safe as he gets close. Honestly, with how much damage that Worth has, Scylla, Hunbots, Neath, you don't want to deal with being a very squishy Hubwa.
No, you do not want to deal with that. So we'll have to see how it's going to play out for Game Hunter at the moment. I mean, have a quick look at him. Level 12 to the level 14 of Variety here at the moment. I mean, we discuss this all the time. Game Hunter will stay in lane for the most part, and when he gets a lead, once he gets himself to the stage, he'll join the team fights and have a big impact. But at the moment, Variety's doing a good job of keeping him pinned down, and that tower's going to drop sooner rather than later.
Oh, yeah, rotating left side here as it gets pushed up by Smek and Trickstank. Going up into that awesome Geb skin.
Awesome Geb skin.
Rollout.
Oh.
Isn't it so cool? It's so cool.
Yeah.
I love seeing it. Grouping the right lane here. Hubba defending his tower. Looks like he's heading on home. Game Hunter forced to go back here. Cubo's in the area, looking to follow up, looking for Ra. There's the D-Claw. Razor Whip was not used there. Here comes Cornio. Lobster's in the area as well, watching him go. I love the vision coverage here. You see level 13 on Cornio, level 13 on Lobster. They're pretty much even across the board. A little bit more go on Lobster, but I like the fact that he just followed her and watched to see what she was going to do.
Yeah, but Scylla rotating ahead of a Poseidon in that situation. And you can see them doing it again. Right lane, the aggression's coming out. They're looking for Cuba Fred under the tower here, who's been left to defend it. And you can see Lobster and Carino, they're matching each other in terms of rotations. This is so good to see from a Scylla player, especially because it's so hard to keep up with a Poseidon. Being aware that Lobster will look for those fast rotations mid lane. Mid lane, sorry.
You kind of hanging out in front of the mid camps, not going to be spawning anytime soon. Vision coverage will get them the aggression. Cornio will come back to the lane, but Trickstack is just kind of hanging out, looking for an opportunity. Smek's going towards the Gold Fury area, trying to defend this war as it stands on the ground right now. Good coverage by Smek, make sure this war doesn't go down. Emil looking for his inventory, does have one sentry war, going to try and defend it. Oh, he's still waiting for the opportunity to get close. He knows as a melee character playing Geb that he doesn't really have the opportunity to put the war down and shoot it, so he has to wait for them to be gone. He's waiting for that to go down, but they're defending it vehemently. Yeah,
it takes quite a few auto attacks, especially from a Guardian, to be able to secure and destroy one of those wards at the moment. So we can clearly see what Chicken Tag is looking to do there. Meanwhile, Ninja Bobat is in the area now, as is Lobster. So we could see a bit of a fight engage here if somebody gets themselves caught out of position. Oh, that was nice from Lobster, though. Looking for the tidal wave through the wall to actually steal away this people. Not today, though, says Ninja Bobat. He's going to secure that for himself. And we're all waiting around. Look at the jump party. Jump party is going on.
Souls in the area here trying to rope down Geb, down to some taunts here. Emil and Trickstack in exchanging niceties. In the mid lane, still pushing up here. Surprisingly enough, we haven't had a single tower fall yet, Hindu.
No, I'm really surprised by that. I mean, the one that we're seeing, Ninja Bobat has gone again. It appears the boat is having internet issues overall. He's having hard time getting a connection. There's a hole in the boat. He's going to have to plug it first of all before we can get back into this game.
Yeah, well, Shaggy Shank is shooting some gun. I'm going to plug that up real quick, and hopefully they'll get back in.
It'll work out. Balance.
Got to shovel and bucket the water out of the boat before it sinks. Cubo Fred has finished Jotun's Wrath right now. We do see Draining Blade build from Smek, pretty standard here. Of course, that will be changing in the patch. On the Draining Blade, the penetration will be going away. We also know that Devourer's Gloves is going down by 100 golds. The early item is purchasable at level 1 with the standard build that you do get from Transcendence and from Heartseeker. A lot of items being changed up there. We also know that Bloodforge is going down in price, Malice is going down in price and increased in effectiveness. Rage is losing its attack speed buff, and Executioner is being increased by 5% of lifesteal and also 3% penetration and 3 flat pen as well. So definitely a lot of itemization changes for hunters. And I expect to see a lot more variety when the hunters start getting a hold of these new items.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we'll see a lot of options available, and maybe some of the hunters come back into rotation, especially with like the little Cupid changes as well. And the way these has changed, it'd be nice to see whether we'll see some hunter change-ups as well. But mid, Harpy's being contested, 2v3 situations because he's Smek and Trickstack rotating over. Lobster's going to secure him. Chicken Tank's going to take a bit of damage there in the most part, but he'll be okay, able to heal back up. Variety back in this game once again, and it looks like we're going to see a rotation over from Variety, which instigates that they might be looking for a possible fight here to attempt the Gold Fury, as even Game Hunter has rotated over as well. But nope, for the most part, Variety's going to head back to lane. I spoke, and they decided not to listen to me, and so we'll go back to the Mexican standoff around the jump.
Hotbar rotating over here, trying to find Variety. Good shield from Gab as he rotates over. There's a heal on the ground. There's a little bit of a warning shot. Celestial Beam coming out from Raw, pushing them back into the jungle. As far as the actives go, it looks like Game Hunter's finished off his actives outright. He's literally not wanting to die at all in the beginning, but he's already died twice. He's like the first blood there. Gold Fury started up by where TSM's in the area. Trickstack is looking for the steal, zoning him out. Humbot's ultimate purification beams. I'm sorry, the ultimate comes out with a CC immunity. Gold Fury is going to go down. It's going to go in favor of Worth. Crack coming out there. Searing Pain from Raw as well. Apollo from above going to finish off Variety now, following up, looking for the kill on Ninja Bobat.
Oh, nice
Dashing forward. Good Serenade. Forces the purification beats from Cornio. Bat's going to get a lot of damage from the Scylla hit there. Tidal Surge not going to land. Emilizo. I'm trying to run away here. Emilizi running in circles. He's going to go down, but there's nowhere to go. It's going to be a 2-for-0 exchange with the Gold Fury in favor of Worth. TSM a little bit weakened from that. Should not be able to kind of counteract anything by picking up a tower. It looks like there's still a slight gold lead for Worth.
Yeah, but experience is in favour of TSM, so it's still pretty even across the boards. Now that that's gone down, we'll probably see more of this Mexican standoff sort of game where everybody's going to just sit in the lanes and continue to farm. Right-hand side towers are the ones that have been affected most so far, and they're both near enough equal now. Game Hunter's caught up a little bit thanks to the rotations from Variety coming out. But it was a nice engage and good pickups from TSM as well in that situation. They'll feel confident because on paper and overall, they are definitely the one that's a better team fighting team because they've played together a lot longer and are used to being behind. And it's starting to show. The experience will the experience continue to show through? We'll find out.
We'll find out very, very shortly. And that's what they're looking for. Whirlpool on the ground here from Lobster. Can clear out the wave. Look at the charts right now. As far as damage done, we do see a pretty high peak here from Cubo Fred at 7,200. In fact, this is going to be most of the game far and away. Shaggy Shank at number 2 here for himself. 4,500 damage dealt by him. And a lot of the left side, he's in trouble.
He is in a lot of trouble. The cats have come out, and that's going to secure the kill from. Didn't even need the pounce. He pounced to make sure the backflip didn't land. That's amazing. Really nicely done from TSM. Once again, exploited the fact that Elmsy was across the other side of the map, dealing with Trix Tank. That's going to be the first tower of the game now. Ninja Bobat looking to rotate round. I don't think he wants to fight this. Just going to block the push any further than that. But that is the second objective of the game, actually, going in favor of TSM. And the objective war has begun. And TSM now in favor. 2 towers and 2 towers against 1 goal fury. They're looking for the blue buff. But the whole team over here, Ninja Bobat, needs to be careful.
There goes the blue buff. Going to put it on the ground. Smack's going to pick that one up. Throwing the Sacred Monkey out, trying to get it. Big rotation in the mid lane here, looking for the mid camps. Lobster's going to look like to secure those with that Trident. Gold Fury is not going to be responding anytime soon. Towers are down on the left and right side of the map for Worth. The right side tower, tier 1 for solo lane on Team Solo. Mid is quite weak, but they have yet to pick it up on the Worth side of things. Look at the gold. That's now in favor of TSM. 1,200 gold and 5,400 experience. That power creep is now starting to overtake them as the experience is going far, far, far in the way of TSM. Worth had a strong lead. In fact, this is the first time TSM has had a gold lead this game, minus the early stage where they had the mid camps. But, you know, right now, I mean, Worth is now having to think about how do they start winning the mid and late.
This is Worth's gaming now. Worth has to bring themselves into this one. They've got to channel their inner TSM and start trying to play back into this. They have to take this lead away and try and chip away at this lead that TSM will try again to keep pushing on. So keep the wall coverage high, make sure the lanes are consistently pushed out so you can see them as more often than not, and make sure the rotations are on par with TSM and the fights are good. As we go into the later stages though, keep an eye on Carino. He is playing Godzilla, and if Godzilla does get going, we know what those armor monsters are all about.
Oh, absolutely. Destruction. Corio has been shown to do it. In fact, even against TSM, a triple kill under Titan is exactly what Corio is capable of with that Scylla play. We're going to see the right side pushing up against Game Hunter. Game Hunter taking a lot of damage here, but still very, very tanky with that. Actually ended up not going for the sash. He went for a Ethereal Staff to start this time around and try and scale that up and get a little bit of damage out of it. Left side, looking for follow-up. Shaggy's going to try and run away. Got to get this tower. I wouldn't even defend it. He's just
can't do
back
anything
off entirely. He's got to let it go.
Can't do anything. Carino's not here in time. Neither is Geb to be able to rotate over and defend. The Sentinel comes out. He's not going to jump to it just yet because he's afraid of being engaged on. Another tower again. TSM playing the map wars well and taking the objectives when they get left wide open. So TSM on the front, and now Worth wants to engage. The World Weaver is being channeled. Is it going to be hit onto anybody or is it not? Geb has used a rollout as well, so a nice disengage once again from TSM. Meanwhile, right hand lane, all that pressure has allowed Game Hunter to start putting pressure on this tier tower now as well.
They're trying to push it down, but that may expose his team for the time being. Worth is not capitalized underneath his solo on the left side. It's going to leave even 4 versus 4 in the mid lane. But of course, we do see Ninja Bobat in the jungle farming up very effectively. The right tower might actually be going down here. Rotation from Variety. Maybe too little, too late. Trying to get some shots there. There's the Whirlpool. I'm sorry, there's the knockup. Needles coming out here to get Game Hunter, bring him down. He just a little bit late there, strangely enough. Going to avoid the fall from the Raw, of course. Here comes Ninja Bobat from the jungle. The tower's dropping quite low, but no follow-up. And at the same time, they're leaving the mid tower open for Smek.
Oh, TSM is so good at these rotations. It makes me so excited to see these plays. Like one person puts pressure one side of the map, everyone swings over there. Then there's a guy on the other side of the map doing exactly the same thing, putting pressure there. And so they just open themselves up to start taking these leads, taking the gold lead by storm now. 3.5k, and experience is 6,000. Gold Fury has been started, and now Worth have to engage, and TSM really need to back out here. This is pretty bad for them to go in. Maybe this will go to Worth Gaming. If this goes to them, this was really nicely played from them.
Ball free.
Let's go for it. I'm a monster
go to Worth
as well.
Bobat in trouble.
Oh, the damage onto Lobster. He's still going to survive for the most part, though. Drop the whirlwind. The Searing Pain misses onto him. Engagement. Elmsy's going to go down to Game Hunter. To the skies. It's actually up as Apollo disengages from this one. Sentinel used to a disengage as most part from him. Cuba Fred's going to drop. Nice Sikkim done by Carino there. And that was a 2-for-1 trade, I believe. No, one for one trade.
It's a 1-for-1 with Worth got Gold Theory. That's right. So they're going to pick up that gold late.
Look at the
big pickup. And the gold now is about 1,400 in favor of TSM. The experience is now going to go slightly more towards Worth. You know, they have less experience lead than they had before. Good play there. And honestly, TSM kind of botched that a bit. They started the Gold Fury, they backed off, but they didn't leash it entirely, and Worth was able to steal away. Now, good recovery. They were able to take out Bobat in the beginning there, and also take out Geb in the beginning there and force him away. But honestly, taking a support for a jungler, that is definitely in the way of Worth. Worth came out ahead in that fight by taking out Kivo Fred, slowing him down, taking away his gold farm, and also getting the gold free away for themselves. Fire Giant is now the next point of contention here. You can see them already grouping up and warding aggressively. Looks like Trix Tank might be able to count this ward. He does have a sentry ward on the available in his inventory. Will he try to ward it away is the question. We see the Solar Blessing being put on the ground for Ra. There goes the hit and take out the ward. Beautiful timing by Trix Tank. He waited until they left to be able to put that down.
Exactly, yeah, and that's what you need to do as a support player as well, because you can get caught out so easily by trying to clear out these wards around the Fire Giant. There is still a ward there for them, though, as well. I don't know if you can actually see that on the map. I guess you can't because of the wall blocking it, so still have map vision from Whiff, and that's good ward control from them to make sure that they can't clear it out with a single ward. So, the Fire Giant, possibly the next point of contention, but Whiff did a great job of keeping themselves in this one, and realizing, and actually dealing with these rotations well. They've lost a couple of towers, but they've still got enough standing to be able to contest. They're not down to the Phoenixes yet, which gives them a sort of a base to start fighting from.
Rod is completed. Priscilla. Oh no,
the damage is
done.
coming.
It's scary. Looking for the crush, not going to find it. Game Hunter backs off. Trix Tank leading the charge here. Starting with the Towel Assault, trying to force them away. The ward is going down on top of the Fire Giant. Looks like that one ward is just out of range. There's the counter ward knocked up. He got the ward! Game Hunter took it out! Wow!
That was amazing. I can't believe you managed to do that. That was awesome.
What? Wow.
That was so... I'm speechless on that one. That was really cool. The thing is, TSM, as being shown by a ward, still Chicken Tank going aggressive. He's taken a lot of damage already. Still in the cavalry charge at the moment. Meanwhile, in the backline, Kiva Fred going aggressive onto everybody. I'm a Monster misses again. To the skies comes in, hitting 3 people. Ninja Boba's going to run. As does Shaggy Shanky's still alive for the most part. No, he's not. He's down. Kraken comes out as well. People are in trouble, but TSM coming out on top. The heals coming out again from Variety, trying to keep his team sustained. What ultimates do we have available? Well, only Variety's Searing Pain is available, and a TSM gonna fight the Fire Giant? I don't think they can right here, but it was definitely a small win for TSM.
Well, taking out Neath is huge. I mean, that's a big rotation. Of course, they used a lot of ultimates to get it. 4 out of 5 ultimates were used from TSM. The only one still remaining is the Crushing Wave from Hobwall, but he didn't want to use it to put himself out of position. They got a big pickup on Shaggy Shank, but you're exactly right. They can't really contest it just yet. Now, they have the Hog 3 on Emil. He's going to be able to go over and steal that one away. Of course, they have the Hog 3 on Chicken Tank as well. So that's 2 ways for them to be able to get the gold, the Fire Giant away. But at the same time, TSM doesn't want to risk it. You look at the gold difference, they're still ahead, but only just. 1,800 gold, 5,700 experience. It is a slight lead, enough for them to be able to feel it, but not enough for them to be able to go for a Fire Giant 5v4. The ward vision's coming up here. We see Emily Witchin looking just for that ward coverage. There goes the counter ward, not going to find it. Of course, the ward on the ground. They're just coming into it, but they need sentries. They just need sentries.
Yeah, they're going to have to pick sentries up because you can see the sentries are the biggest part of this Fire Giant control right now, and TSM are doing a good job of it. And the gold, still 2,000 in favor of TSM, 6,000 experience, but that last Gold Fury showed that Whiff is still able to contest and actually steal away some of these items. TSM need to watch it. They're not that as far ahead as they normally like to be at this stage of the game. 5 to 7 in kills as well. So Whiff Gaming is still doing a great job.
Fantastic job. They earned it. But at the same time, left side, Smack is pushing up, doing Apollo does best. 5 players gripping on the Fire Giant. They're basically baiting the Fire Giant here. You see Shaggy Shank heading home. This is a big, big deal for Worth. With Neath going home, Neath cannot fly, but Apollo can. That's what Apollo does best. It forces people to rotate, then jumps on that ultimate and rotates back over. With the initiation possibility coming out here if they want to go for it. But it looks like Worth, because Neath is missing, do not want to fight here. And I think TSM knows it. We just see the pressure coming out from Smack, forcing them to rotate back. 4 players from TSM grouping up. Apollo might be looking to ult here. All eyes on Smack to see if he wants to commit entirely. If the call comes out from the team to commit, he'll go up in the air.
Worth are doing the right thing here. They actually managed to do well not to get baited into a fight at all. Surprised TSM didn't try and force one by starting the Fire Giant there, knowing they had Smek who could rotate a lot quicker than the Neef could in that lane. So for the most part, that went in Worth Gaming's favour. They managed to defend for the most part and still be in a good enough position to contest the Fire Giant. So TSM have to look for a commitment when they can see that Shaggy Shank has gone back to defend.
Geb in mid lane, defending up. Bassett still gets some harassment off. Looks like he wants to commit a little bit. Actually going for Geb, but damage output, forcing the shield out. Just waiting for that one position where Worth is out of place, and they're going to take the kill. And that's all TSM wants. They're waiting for that one misstep, that slight 2-foot misstep to grab somebody. And with the damage they have on TSM, Poseidon, Hobwa, Bastet, that's all they need. And we still relying on Smek as well for the split pressure across the map. He's going to continue doing it. Actually, he might even solo. Yep, he's going to solo the gold for on the left side, get some free gold. If it turns out to be poor, he'll just fly across over the Fire Giant. Shaggy Shank is on his way, though, as well as the Jaboba. The problem is if they get too far away, they might just initiate the rest side. That's exactly what Guayu's up with the horse, looking for a variety here. This is Cataclysm slow down Game Hunter, but he's pretty tanky at this point. Looking for Cornio, back up, Whirlpool on the ground, look, shield on top. Gab's going to buy some time. Still no complete initiation here. Guan Yu took a little bit of damage there, but Q Upgrade went down to half HP with that initiation. The Guan heal is going to help a lot, but Worth actually played that really well.
Worth win that. They've still got all their ultimates available, just the Cataclysm used by Elmsy. They're looking for aggression here. Is Elmsy? He's looking for a knock-up on somebody. Who's he aiming for? Nope, just going to swing around the back. Cuva Fred could get caught out of position here. Going to have the pounce available. Going to use it immediately. Not a surprise to see to get him out of it. But Worth Gaming now have control of the Fire Giant pit, and it all switches around again. Meanwhile, though, left-hand side, that wave does need to be pushed back again. Otherwise, Smek will look to exploit it. But nice exploitation from Worth, though, taking out this right-hand side tower, taking their first tower objective of this game.
You know, gold is always good. I mean, the towers are always guaranteed gold. If you're not too far behind, you just walk over, take the tower, and that's about all you need. And honestly, that's kind of what they're going for. They just wanted to get a little bit of gold.
Here we go.
They're starting the Fire Giant up. Trick in the area. Need the ultimate. Humbot's ultimate. There goes it. Need to get the damage out. There's the Hog. Worth gets the Fire Giant to get out. See if they can follow up with this one. Oh, Emily with a lot of trouble. Takes some damage. Game Hunter gets the hit with that water cannon. Shaggy Shank takes out Lobster. It's a 1-4 exchange. I'm a monster going to hit Trick Tank. Doing huge damage here. Shaggy Shank's backing off. Looking for Smek. Smek running through the damage here. With Variety back towards the tower as Cornio comes through as well. It's going to be a 1-for-1 exchange. They changed their support for Poseidon and got the Fire Giant. Worth wins that.
Oh my gosh, Worth are playing so well right now. Like, this is a great game to watch overall. The pause coming out from Lobster there, but I can't believe, like, they used all their ultimates in quick succession to keep Trix off the Fire Giant as long as possible. I thought they did it a bit too early, to be honest. I actually felt, this is a bit too tight. Like, they've done it, they've started too early, but Elmsy stepping in on that support role, he's doing a great job so far, honestly. Those Hunt of the Gods have made a big influence in this game over and over again so far. Big shout outs to him stepping up. This is a close game, and now Worth are in the driving seat.
You know, honestly, I'm going to disagree with you. I think that was the perfect way to defend the Fire Giant there by Worth. They did two things that were really important. First, they launched the Neath ultimate early, and the importance of this is because they know that Trixton can activate his ultimate and run towards the Fire Giant with impunity. They wanted to make sure that they got him early enough to start the CC chain and prevent him from being able to use his ultimate. So Neath starts with the Neath ultimate, the World Weaver across the map, keeps in place, get the stun. The absolute second that Neath ultimate hit, all of a sudden, Humbot's ultimate comes out, forces him away. The fear is there, and they did that specifically to stop him from popping his ultimate early, getting the CC immunity, and then following up with the Hog. That was beautiful play by Worth. So I think they played it perfectly. Couldn't have gone any better, and they got the Fire Giant because of that timing there. And the amount of confidence it takes, and the amount of practice and belief in your own play it takes to have Trix Tank, the mighty world-famous Trix Tank, sitting in front of your Fire Giant, doing him right in front of his eyes, and then steal it from him is just mind-blowing. I love what Worth is doing, and they deserve every amount of credit.
And they're playing with a substitute support. I mean, factor that one in on top of everything else. This is not their staple roster. Generally, Princess Tomato is their support player. Elmsy has stepped in and been like, what's up, guys? I'm ready for this. I'm going to face TSM. Going to be on a new team. You guys did really well last week. Let's continue on from where you guys left off last week. I'm going to help you with the Fire Giant. And he's playing really, really well. The whole team of Worth Gaming are doing so well this game. You can have a look at the Golden Experience now. Still in favour of TSM, but with that Fire Giant, TSM are not going to want to look to fight because of the extra damage and regeneration that they do get from Worth Gaming. So watch them. Hopefully they can start abusing this now and start looking for some objectives, get some of this global gold back in their favour, especially with the Gold Fury being available. We'll see Worth head on over there.
Brief update from the semifinal round. C9 has defeated I5. C9 will move on to the grand finals to face off whoever wins this one. Will it be worth C9? Will it be TSM C9? Throw up your team of choice up in chat or at home, I guess by yourself at your monitor or TV screen, wherever you're watching from across the world. C9 is in the grand finals. I5 moves on to the bronze match, but whoever wins here will be faced off against C9. Will it be Worth? Will it be Solomid? We'll find out soon. Worth with the Fire Giant. They're taking on the left side tower,
really nice.
looking for a big team fight.
Good decisions to be made. The left-hand side is their weakest point on the map. Let's make it TSM's weakest point on the map as well. Great decision from them. Furthest point of contention away from the Fire Giant. So even if things do go badly, they've always got the opportunity to split push available and someone has to defend it. So Worth looking to siege this tower and TSM looking for the right opportunity to engage. The poke is going to come out, but the sustain from Blessing. There's a jump in from Cuva. He's looking for an opportunity, but the shield comes out as well. Backing away. Does Cuva Fred have to do with the pounce ability? Trix goes in as well. He's in the ultimate pot from from Smek as well. And now Elms is going to be the focus. Oh, monster! Oh, so much damage!
Smek goes out with a crit from Shaggy Shake, back up Cuba Fred by himself. Stick comes out, one single shot from Cornio. DSI for Worth Gaming. They have Fire Giant buff. Only one player died. It was their support tank. Now they're going for the tower. That was the hugest play we've seen today. Beautiful I'm a Monster from Cornio, proving that this is why you do not give Scylla to Cornio. Going for the Phoenix. They're going for the Titan. They're going for the victory. Can T Solomid defend it? There's no time in the world. Worth Gaming takes the match against Team Solomid, ladies and gentlemen. They will be going on to the grand finals, and for the first time this year, TSM will be knocked out of the grand finals, and Worth Gaming has shown that they are worth your vote for defeating TSM today. What an upset we have, Hindu.
Wow. Wow. Like, I'm just gonna have to do this.
It's the Godzilla.
It's the Godzilla. The new and improved toy on the market all next week will be perma-banned, as you can see, but Godzilla on the scene right now. Oh my goodness, that I'm a monster. I'm like, whoa, I did not see that one coming.
You know, that is just, you know,
please tell me replay. Please tell me
hashtag replay. Hashtag, you know, should we give them a replay? I don't know if chat deserves a replay.
Was it really that good? Honestly, was it really that good?
They want a replay? Let's give them a replay. Up on screen, you'll see the replay coming through here. Watch how patient Cornio is. We see him grouping up. Now, Emilo is going to take a lot of damage here. He's going to run towards the blue buff through the jungle, and he's going to go down. Whirlpool going to slow him out. You see the Guanyu ultimate looking for Bobat, not going to find it. Now, watch Geb, played by Emilo, he's going to go down to the Whirlpool there. But look at the I'm a Monster. Because Emilo got so low, and TSM, with the most rookie mistake ever, jumped on Geb for the first pick, the support tank. They grouped really hard, and I love, if this was intentional, and I believe that it was, it is one of the most amazing plays. You can see what he did there, and it's one of those things where, like, you know, good night, sweet prince, and you have like that music playing in your head as Geb goes down. But what he did is he got himself low. He started the fight. He was in the forefront, in their face, and then when they got him low enough, he ran around a corner, which funneled them all into one spot. He funneled them into one spot, like the hot gates of hell, and brought them into one spot, and they tried to kill Geb. They got the Geb kill, but the second they had that in mind, where they clenched the Geb kill, they realized we're in one spot, and then bang! I'm a Monster right on top, takes them all out. It was about, you know, honestly, collectively around 3,000, 4,000 damage in that circle. Cornio destroyed them, and it was cleaned up after that. TSM botched that engagement so poorly that Worth capitalized it and was orchestrated. I mean, that's amazing. I love what Worth is doing.
Yeah, really, really, really good with that. So we should be right back anyway with the final, because Worth are in the final, Dry Bear. They beat TSM, and they're going to be facing Cloud9, who didn't even make the final last week. So we've got two new teams, technically, vying for the first place this week. Oh, yes.
You know, let's go ahead and jump right into it. I think the chat wants